Welcome to the driver's seat. We are in Morro Bay State Beach in Central California, and we have this stunning 2021 Defender 110. You've heard a lot about it. This is the loaded out version, and behind me is the all-new Airstream Basecamp 20X, which has been the hit of this park. So many people have walked up to us, inquired about it. It's just very polarizing, as is the Defender 110, but really most of the comments have been about this Airstream. So this vehicle is more than capable of towing this Airstream. Airstream weighs about 4,500. This has a towing capacity between 77 and 8,200, depending on the configuration. So it was a breeze towing it. Fuel economy is about 19 without a trailer. With the trailer, going about 60, 63 miles an hour. We're averaging just under 13 miles per gallon. Not too bad, but it really it was not a struggle for this vehicle at all. This Basecamp, this has been Airstream's most successful product in its 91-year history. The company's based in Ohio, and they just can't keep up with demand. And what makes this special is that even though they came out with the Basecamp 3 years ago, that was the 16, people wanted more, a little bit longer, a little bit wider, a little taller, so they did that, more capacity. You have more water capacity. So they came out with the 20, and then they came out with the X version for both the 16 and the 20, which gives you a 3-inch lift, off-road tires, a beefier suspension, stone guard, etc. It has been wonderful. I wouldn't say it's the most comfortable bed because it's not a true mattress, but it's really geared for the adventure type. And one of the reasons, not just the off-road capability, but you have this large door in the rear that lets you put a kayak, a paddleboard, mountain bike, whatever, easy to load things in and out of it. So let's take a look. We've really enjoyed our time, and really these are just two of the most wonderful toys you could probably imagine for this kind of setting. So after spending a week with this Airstream Basecamp 20X 2021 model, I could tell you all the pros and cons, things that I would change. So let's start here with the kitchen area. And immediately you can see Airstream's intention with this. They wanted to make it lightweight, and they wanted to make it affordable. And usually when you use lighter materials, you're going to use some cheaper materials. But the cooktop is made by Dometic, and that's an excellent brand. It's a 2-burner cooktop, very standard issue. You got plenty of storage. Also, you have this Dometic sink. Faucet folds down nicely. So they did a good job here. Where it really falls apart is behind me, the sleeping area. But one thing I want to point out is you see throughout here you have 4 of these baskets to put pillows and towels and whatnot. This I love. This is one of my favorite features of the Basecamp. We used it a lot throughout our trip, and it really makes a lot of sense. All right, so back here, this is your sitting area. You've got 2 benches. Underneath there's some storage. On this side over here, you've got your pumps. Right now, these tables look very low. Well, that's because the way it's configured right here, this is designed for foundation for your bed. Over here, you've got these, you can see these hinges here. These fold out, and it's somewhat stable, but extremely uncomfortable. You don't have a good foundation. On top of that, you got these cushions that maybe if you're a 10-year-old, you weigh about 75 pounds, okay, you could sleep on this somewhat comfortably for a night or two, but this is just not made for adults. Just to, if I were to buy one of these, that's the first thing I would do is maybe get some orthopedic cushions, something. And I've heard a lot of people complain. So these, you have different poles. These can actually be replaced, these short poles with the longer poles, so you have tables, but the way they're situated right now is for a bed. Another one of my favorite features, if you look back here, you have this big door that your traditional Airstreams don't have. And why is this important? Well, if you want to put a mountain bike, which we did, if you want to put a kayak or a paddleboard, you can do that. You can't do that with a traditional Airstream. You'd have to put it on the roof or on your vehicle that you're towing it with. So that's one of the nice features here. But overall, just very, very pleasant. You feel like you're in an outdoor adventure travel trailer. Definitely not a luxury travel trailer. So you do have plenty of storage throughout. It's pretty nice, nicely done, very well thought of. But this bathroom area, this is a little bit of a disaster. It's going to be hard to see in here. So this all-in-one, shower and toilet That just doesn't work for me. It just doesn't make sense. I would step up and find an alternative. Luckily, we were in a camp that had showers, so we used those. We used this one night, but overall, couldn't really get the hot water to get hot enough, to tell you the truth, and just don't really like the design. All right, now we're moving to the front of the trailer, and you have a nice fridge here. It's a little over 4 cubic feet, plenty of storage, microwave up here. This trailer is the X package, so it has the off-road package. It also has air conditioning is one option. You have solar, and then you have the microwave. Those are the only 3 options you can get. This seating area is nice. Nice that this table rotates, but again, you can feel right away. Just if you compare this to a Flying Cloud or one of the higher Airstream models, you can feel that the quality is just, not quite there. It's good, but it's not great. Already you can see that the edging here is starting to fall apart. Yeah, this has been through a few journalists who have reviewed it and whatnot, but I just don't know long term how this would hold up. So I'm not here to bash the Basecamp. I think it's, for what it is, it's a very impressive trailer. It's been a rock star. So many people have commented, stopped us, asked us questions. I really think they nailed it for what it is. It's an adventure travel trailer that can go anywhere. It's lightweight, so it can be towed by most vehicles. You don't need an F-350 to tow it with. But if you are comparing it to maybe a 2 or 3 year old Airstream, which is what I'm comparing it to, the quality difference is night and day, and I'm more inclined to go that route. I think this is nice for a young couple who, this is basically a step or two above camping on a rooftop tent or a regular tent. But as far as travel trailer goes, this is definitely entry level, but it has that off-road, go anywhere, off-the-grid capability, which a traditional Airstream doesn't have. So there you have it. As mentioned before, starting price on the 16 is about $35,000. The one we're reviewing this week is $54,000. That's the 20 with the X package and the 3 options. So up front, you have a 3-liter engine producing 395 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and that's why it's been so effortless to tow this 4,500-pound trailer. A lot of really cool elements on this Defender 110. This one has the 110 graphics package. You've got this kind of fake metal. It's plastic, but it's supposed to look like metal. So a lot of little vents and the $49,000 entry-level one that you're thinking about, that's got steel wheels. That's a base model. Doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but of course they wanted to give us something with all the options so that we can test it out. A lot of people see this utility box and ask questions. What is it? What's it for? So you can take a look inside. It's got this cargo net. You can put tools, jumper cables, whatever you think you might need access to. Now, what's not conventional about this particular Defender 110 is the spare tire on the roof. And the reason the spare tire is on the roof is because if I left it where it was mounted on the tailgate here, you couldn't get to the handle. I'm going to go back here and show you. So imagine if that spare tire was mounted here. I wouldn't even be able to get this trailer close enough. Now you could say, well, Ron, just get a longer tongue here. Well, I didn't want to spend the money, number one. And number two, even if I did that, I still would not be able to open this door. That's it. It can only open this about 30%. If it was a little further back, maybe 50%, but you're not going to be able to open it all the way. So even though from a mechanical standpoint, performance standpoint, this is a great towing vehicle, I'd like to think that they just didn't think through how this spare tire and this swing out door was going to work with a trailer like this. Nevertheless, it's very capable, and we really enjoy towing with it. That's what's nice about this Airstream, is it's so light that even a regular crossover like a Highlander or Ford Explorer has enough towing capacity to haul it around. Airstream is a 91-year-old company based out of Ohio, and in its entire history, they've never had a more successful product than this Basecamp 20X. So the original Basecamp was out in 07, went away. They brought it back in 2017. It was a 16-footer, no off-road version. People said it's nice, but a little too short. You know, not quite wide enough, not quite tall enough, not enough capacity. So they came out with the 20 and 20X. You can also get a 16X. The X off-road package adds a 3-inch lift, off-road tires, a little beefier suspension. You have the stone guard. And as far as the Basecamp overall, the only options on here are solar and microwave and air conditioning, all three, which I highly recommend. That brings the price up from $45 of a standard entry-level 20 to about $54 for a 20X fully loaded. Now, if you're comparing Basecamp to a Bambi and some of these other Airstream models, I caution you because this is really meant for the adventurous type. It's meant to go off-road. It's meant to be towed by smaller vehicles, Highlanders, Explorers, vehicles that may only have 5,000 pounds of towing, can't handle the big Airstream, but they can handle these vehicles. And it's been great. It's been very easy to tow. It's very light. It's very polarizing. A lot of windows, a lot of nooks and crannies. I'll show you inside in a minute, but I just wanted to kind of point out a few things here. This is the stone guard. This is part of the X package. It's going to protect if you're going off-road with any kind of chips and whatnot. You got a dual step here versus the regular non-X version, which is lower, so you need 2 steps, and that works quite nicely. And as you can see, these are the off-road tires, very, very beefy. Goodyear's 235 85 16s, a lot of knobby tread on them, and you could see someone's already taken this off-roading and scratched it up a little bit, but that's really what it's meant for. A couple things to point out about the rear of the Basecamp 20X. First of all, you notice this angle of departure. It's very steep. If you've seen traditional Airstreams or even other trailers, you've seen them. Sometimes they can get caught, especially if you try to go off-roading, maybe you go over a sand dune. You can see that there's a lot of ground clearance here, and that's on purpose. That's if you go off-road or if you have a steep driveway, you can really take advantage of it. So under here are stabilizers. They're manually operated. The 16 also has 2 stabilizers in the back. The 20 adds 2 stabilizers in the front. We used it and it was extremely stable. And the other thing you notice is this big door here. And this is key compared to other Airstreams. You have this rear door because if you wanted to put a kayak or a mountain bike or perhaps a paddleboard, you can do that. It's got a clear hallway about 16 feet all the way to the front. So if you wanted to put something like that, no problem. Take it in, take it out. That's what this is for. So a lot of differentiation from this Basecamp, or all the Basecamps, and the traditional Airstreams. If you've ever been in the market for one of these and your budget is somewhere in the 35 to 50 range, this might be your trailer. I'm Ron Doran. Thanks for watching. See you next time on The Driver's Seat. We have truly used every cubic foot of this vehicle on this trip. We've had a mountain bike in here, had a big cooler, lots of bags, and it's very versatile, very easy to get in and out of. It's easy to access the second and third row. Very, very thoughtful vehicle. I realized that in principle, the purpose of this Defender is to do some serious off-roading, and it can certainly do that. But don't be surprised if you see these at elementary schools and at soccer fields and amusement parks. This is really a family vehicle that has the possibilities and the capabilities to go off-road in the most extreme areas. But in reality, it's probably going to sing a lot of parking lots and shopping centers. That's just a reality. And why not? Because it's not only is it capable, but also the way they built this in kind of a minimalist way. It's very, the materials feel very durable, very washable, and that's important when you have a family, bang around, spill things, etc. This feels like it's got very easy cleanup. So kudos. I think they really nailed it as far as that goes. I know that the enthusiasts, the old Defender enthusiasts, are not happy. Too bad. This is the problem. Is you guys didn't buy enough. Had you bought enough of those old ones, they might have kept it going. But people buy them, keep them for 20 years. That's not the business that Land Rover is in. So This is the new Defender. Get used to it. It's just completely frozen as far as music. Very frustrating. Yesterday we had to just completely shut the car off for about 20 minutes and to get it going again. So I've had these issues in other Jaguar Land Rover products, so this doesn't surprise me one bit. What is very impressive, because we are towing this week, is all the cameras and all the different. So as you can see here, I got different views for cameras. I can see what's going on back here. This is actually pretty handy, especially if you're kind of a beginner in trailering. It helps you stay within the lane, so you know what you're doing. And so it's just interesting to me overall that Land Rover clearly wants you to tow. Their vehicles are capable of towing, but then we had a lot of problems just connecting the trailer because of that spare tire that's on the swing out gate. And even when we removed the tire, we had to put it on the roof. We still had a lot of we couldn't open the gate more than about 30-35%. So that doesn't. For me, as an owner, I want to know I can access the cargo area when I have a trailer connected, and you can't do that with this vehicle. So unless you get a really long tongue, I can't imagine how long it would have to be, and I don't even know if anything like that exists. But that's one complaint. I have no complaints about how this vehicle handles. Obviously right now we're towing, so we're driving slower, but for a couple of days we didn't have a trailer, and 80, 85, 90 miles an hour. This thing really handles well, and it kind of surprised me how quiet and how planted it is, considering its design. It's obviously not the most aerodynamic, but it is aerodynamic enough, and everything just works. So impressed with some of the technology, impressed with the powertrain. I like the styling. I prefer solid color. I think this vehicle is a little too busy. When you look at the back, especially when you have this two-tone, it's very busy and kind of a turn-off a little bit. But I'm not going to have a big discussion about styling. That's up to you. I could just tell you that it's comfortable. It's very easy to drive, and I like all the different electronics and whatnot. I just wish that they were more solid, because as mentioned, here we are on a long trip, and we can't even access FM radio, XM. System's completely shut down. Another thing I want to talk about is the second and third row. I wish the second row folded flat. It doesn't, and we actually had a big screen TV in here helping out a friend, and had that seat been able to fold flat, we could have gotten it in no problem. Instead we had to angle it. So just little things. I understand this is more of an entry-level vehicle for Land Rover, but to me that's a little thing that could be fixed. I still think this is going to be easily their best-selling vehicle. I'm seeing a lot of them on the road already. It's got a great polarizing style, and it's capable. I mean, no, we didn't really challenge it, but we know it's capable. We did that back in January and saw just how capable it is. No, it's not a body on frame. It's not the old Defender. It's the new Defender, and that's it. If you want something closer to the old Defender, maybe consider the new Bronco, because that seems to have addressed that gap.